So,
we start the pledge?
right, yeah. So, good afternoon. It's 2 p.m. on November 15th, 2012. This is a special meeting for the Rhinebeck Town Board on a number of agenda items, specifically, or most importantly, the 2013 town budget consideration. So let's start the meeting with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. For one announcement is Town Hall will have new hours. This is to help with the efficiencies of the town clerks and keeping up with business. The new town hall hours will be 8:30 a.m. through 4 p.m. That'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Tuesday and Thursday, new hours will be 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This will give the clerks time to catch up on work behind. The idea of it is rather than to sort of allow for them not to be interrupted when they're trying to keep up with the workload. It just seems to be a more efficient concept that we're considering at this point in time. So 1 to 4 Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Will the building be locked on Tuesdays and Friday mornings?
No, they'll be in there.
The building should be open.
This is Town Hall.
The clerks.
No.
So it's actually the town clerk's office hours have been changed, not town hall.
Right.
Right.
So it's new town clerk office hours.
Will we have a sign up? Can we order a sign to have that posted?
I think, well, we have signs on the bulletin board. I can certainly put a new sign out, and it'll certainly go on the website.
Okay.
So business before the board would be the consideration of 2013 town budget, and we're still, have we received any written comments, John, from the public on the hearing? So the public comment period has been open, and we should have a motion and second to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
And all in favor, aye?
Aye.
So moved. Before we adopt, we have a couple comments from the board you guys like to make? Okay.
If I can go first? or
Sure,
Elizabeth?
go ahead.
The 2013 budget that we have in front of us calls for a tax levy which is 1.86% higher than 2012. Preparing a budget is the worst part of being on the town board because of the difficult financial situation our town, like other municipal governments, is facing. Our costs go up, including health care and retirement benefits, but revenue is decreasing, resulting from a flat economic climate and decreased revenue from Dutchess County, including a decrease in the sales tax share we previously received and the imposition of election costs on the town. As to election costs, while the entire burden was put on the town a couple of years ago, the county is now going to bear half the cost, while at the same time decreasing our share of sales tax revenue. Since I've been on the board, and indeed since approximately 2008, the town balances the budget by appropriating monies from the town fund balances. It is simple math that if you reduce fund balances every year, eventually fund balances will be used up. Compounding the difficulties we face, there is a state-mandated property tax of 2%, which for Rhinebeck means that we cannot raise property tax by more than approximately $39,000 over the 2012 property tax levy. Although the town may override the tax cap and increase property tax by more than the state-mandated tax cap, I note that other governmental units affecting your property tax, the people of Rhinebeck, namely the county, the school board, and the fire district, which have their own governing boards, have not overruled the tax cap. In the absence of public opinion supporting the override of the tax cap, at this point, I do not think the town should be the first jurisdiction affecting Rhinebeck town property owners to do so. In order to live within the tax cap and in view of the rising costs and the need to give our non-union employees who have not received raises in a number of years, we've had to nickel and dime various budget requests. In addition, this board has been very active in shopping the prices of various services and has achieved a number of significant cost savings. In addition, this budget that we have before us reduces the amount that we've had to appropriate from fund balances from $441,000 for the 2012 budget to $366,000 in the 2013 budget. I look forward to the day when we do not have to rely on large uses of fund balances to balance the town's annual operating budget. Also, in addition to nickel and diming various departments, we've had to make a painful decision with respect to staffing. In the highway and maintenance departments, in the budget in front of us that we're going to vote, yay or nay, we'll terminate one person in each department, the highway and the maintenance, beginning in 2013. This is a situation no one is happy about. However, like other government units, we cannot work toward bringing our finances into balance without staff reductions. During 2013, we must explore other cost savings, such as whether there will be savings through shared services with the village or other towns, as well as possible new revenue sources.
Thanks, Bill.
Elizabeth.
I prepared a statement, too. This budget process was long, it was arduous, but I think it was very thoughtful. As a group, we had 17 budget workshop meetings. We had 4 capital replacement plan meetings. Additionally, I had numerous meetings with my committees and my departments, with Shelley Day, our town bookkeeper, with other board members. Joe and I did a line-by-line multi-year analysis of expenditures. We've all spent a lot of time on this and given it a lot of thought. A conservative budget is one where the expenditures are overestimated and the revenues are underestimated. We've shaved off a lot of these margins, and I think we've delivered a tighter budget. Rhinebeck is facing mounting financial pressures. We've lost over $40,000 in income from the county sales tax revenue. Other revenues in this flat economic cycle are down, and our expenses are up. A large chunk of the cost increases are from our yearly payroll, which is now over $1 million, plus increased health insurance, which is up about 11% this year, and pensions. We, like other governments, cannot achieve a rollover budget, let alone one that addresses the need for significant capital improvements while staying within our 2% mandated cap, which, as Joe pointed out, is about $40,000, $39,000 increase over the previous year. Of great concern to me is our reliance on the funds balance to fund our budget. This year, we're using about $360,000 from the funds balance. At this rate, it will be depleted in 4 years. We need to look at consolidation of services with the village and the town and explore any other possible revenue sources. We need to change, as we are working and doing business as usual, in order to keep our life in Rhinebeck affordable. The 2 layoffs are something that I take to heart and I take very seriously, and I've thought about it a lot, a great deal. The disparity in total compensation packages between our full-time union and non-union employees is great, and I urge the Teamsters Union to work with us during contract negotiations to help close this gap. In voting for this budget, I am standing with my peers, the other four town board members, as a unified group, although the vote hasn't taken place yet. I want to thank all of you for your hard work and your camaraderie. I find this board to be collegial and respectful and committed. I also want to thank Shelley Day, our bookkeeper, for her insight and institutional knowledge and her countless hours of work. The big question for us is, where do we go from here? What's next year? Thanks.
One thing I would like to add to that is, one thing I would like to see next year is a true executive summary of the budget, because I know it would be helpful not only for me, but for the public as well. And although all of our meetings were noticed and we would welcome any public input, we got very little of it. And I think having an executive summary that's readable and understandable to the normal person, let alone, people who work with the budget, would go a long way next year to allowing the public to respond and be included in this process. I would also like to say that I wanted to retain the right to override the tax cap, and I would be totally willing to override the tax cap if it meant we could save jobs. And I would also like to say that I lay the loss of these jobs at the feet of the county for withdrawing the funds from sales tax revenue. And that's what we had to struggle with, and that's what came out of it.
Anything
Thanks,
else?
Bruce.
Well, I don't have a prepared statement. I think we've continued paring the budget for many years. Part of the fund balance was because people were taxed unnecessarily, and we were putting money away, and we made use of that fund balance for several years. Now, I too am very concerned that it's going to go away in a few years. But I think we've taken some steps this year that we've changed the expectation that certain departments like rec and cemetery planning and zoning have increased revenue objectives, and they're not entitled to be there all the time and run up the costs without generating some revenue. There's going to be some trade-offs that they're going to have to go through if the revenue doesn't come in. I think we made some investments in upgrading the IT, which is sorely needed for a couple of decades. We're going to put money into the supervisor's office to get better throughput, and we're going to put money into bridges. We have two new bridge projects that we need to work on. I still think there's areas of I'll say inefficiency in town government that we can work on. These are opportunities. I think there's some accounting practices that we should look at in the future, just from an equity point of view. I agree with everyone that shared services is extremely important and we need to go there, and that the county's offering incentives to do that, and the state has been doing that for years, so we should take advantage of that. But I think 2013 is going to require the town board to much more actively pay attention to finances on a monthly basis, and to monitor, have better information, monitor things in real time, and not be just the rubber stamp for the staff, but to actually authorize when somebody goes over their budget, or somebody's going to spend new, or anything that's not what we expect, we're going to have to take a position that they need our approval before they can do it. So, thanks.
I made my comments the other night. I'll just make a brief comment on it. With the economy continuing to stagnate and the outlook for growth remaining uncertain, we are faced with challenges to sustain our community in ways than different before. We cannot ignore the financial crisis that this country is still in. We can't just let things run as usual and see how the cards land. We must reset our expectations as community leaders, employees, and citizens to maintain the stability of our community. If you've been watching the financial news globally and nationally over the past year or so, you'll see that municipalities have never recovered from the 2008 financial crisis and recession. In fact, some of these municipalities have gone bankrupt. With an even new financial crisis in this country, we still have even more challenges. Compassion in our discourse has been no weakness. We have been, as a unified board, concerned ourselves with the individuals while acting in the good of the community as a whole. It's been difficult, but I'm proud of this board, and we've done a good job. So it's all about sustainability and our future. Next year will be difficult, but I think we've addressed our budget for the future as well. So I thank you all for being a part of this. At this time, I'd like to, we have closed the public comment period, and so at this point in time, I have a motion and second to adopt the 2013 Rhinebeck Town Budget. A motion?
Motion.
Second?
By roll call, supervisor votes aye. Councilperson Fox?
Aye.
Councilperson Gelb?
Aye.
Councilperson Spenzia?
Aye.
And Deputy Supervisor Washburn.
Aye.
That is so moved unanimously, and the 2013 budget is adopted. For discussion, a couple items for discussion and possible action. We have an application for Vandenberg Cove Sewer District Committee member, and that is Dan Kirkpatrick, who is a resident of the Cove, I believe, right? Okay. Motion and second?
Motion.
Second?
Any discussion on that?
I haven't seen a application.
It's in your packet.
Okay. Are we voting on this
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, Gina.
tonight or
You
today?
don't have it?
Well, I just got the packet, I'm sorry.
It's Dan Kilpatrick, I'm sorry, I said Kirkpatrick. So,
We have a lot of vacancies. The only person we have left that's officially on it is Ellen Baker. And I believe Dan lives in Rhinebeck,
Yes, he says he does. His application says he does.
and Ellen lives in
Hyde Park.
Hyde Park. And for a while there, the majority of the committee was in Hyde Park. And it doesn't matter, because it's a special district, but,
Happy to have him. Yeah.
I am, yeah. We need people. There's issues there still, so,
okay, so all in favor, aye?
aye.
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 Opposed?
Could I just, one thing that's always bothered me, and even on this application, it's spelled both ways, is it with a U or an E in Vandenberg?
I always thought, you mean V-A-N-D-E-R?
No, the B-E-R-G.
Oh, I always said that.
Or B-U-R-G.
I've always seen it B-U-R-G.
I just needed to know definitively for my own.
The last item,
One knows.
okay, the last
Okay.
item for discussion is the consideration for the 2013 capital plan.
I think that's a workshop.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't do number 2 on business, did we? The approval
Oh,
for the
yeah.
bookkeeper?
Good point. Yeah, the bookkeeper needs approval for $50 the processing fee for the Public Employee Relations Board in connection with a union grievance. Motion and second for that.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
What does this entail? I'm sorry.
You know, John? She didn't tell me
Yeah,
about
it's
this.
for the arbitration with the one I'm involved in.
Okay.
It should come out of contingency, though. Because we have no fund for this.
Right.
Okay. Motion and second?
We had the motion.
Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 So move. We'll move towards the workshop. Ms. Pines is ready?
Are we closing? the
Should
meeting?
we adjourn the meeting?
Let Fred go.
Yep.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Sure.
Second.
So we're adjourning the special meeting to move into a workshop session. So motion and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? That's so moved.
Bye.